Hey everybody, welcome back to Jason Explains Things. Today is a special episode. I'm here with my buddy Chris.
Hello.
Hello, Chris.
Hi. So this is a 2016 Chevy Colorado. I've had it for a few years now. I have it nice and broken in. We got a Icon Vehicle Dynamics Stage 5 kit that we're gonna be throwing in this guy.
Awesome.
Yeah, it should give it quite a bit more suspension travel, new upper control arms, remote reservoir shocks.
First off, we're gonna do a little intro where we're gonna kind of take it on its stock Z71 setup and see if we have issues and how good it is. And then we're gonna do the whole process, videotape the whole process of installing everything, and come back here to the smaller mountains of Central Washington, not the big ones, but yeah, see how it does. And funny thing about Chris and I. Chris has not been in the YouTube channel before, but he has been in some videos with me, and like this one. And this one. What are you doing? What are you? Ow! And this one.
I feel like fishing. Let's go.
All right, let's go fish. Yeah, want to see now? Let's go fish.
Ready to fish?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's leave that in the past. Let's stop showing those.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah.
Those are good.
Well.
Should we go that way? See if we can get stuck?
I like that idea much better. Let's do that.
Is this the first big modification you've done, or?
First big modification, yeah. I've done a couple of cosmetic things. Other than that, well, first modification was trimming down the ridiculous front air dam on these trucks. I trimmed it down to about 2 inches. It used to be literally like a 6-inch air dam. But I think
all
I'm gonna
for fuel economy, right?
All for fuel economy. You know.
Whatever, Earth.
Well.
What have you done for me lately, Earth? So how much ground clearance do you have now, and how much do you hope to, are we gonna expect to have when it's done?
Absolutely. So besides, and I didn't mention this before, but besides the suspension itself, we're going to be putting a little bit more aggressive tires and wheels on it. The wheels are also from Icon. The cool thing about that company is they build the wheels with their own suspension in mind, so it's kind of, they're tailored to it, which is cool. And then we're going to be throwing some BFGoodrich KO2s on here.
The standard.
The standard for off-road.
The standard for this part of the country.
Exactly, yes. Those will be a little bit bigger. They're just under 33-inch tires, so that'll be good.
For the record, if you get my GoPros dirty, I'm going to be freaking pissed off.
That was not in the original agreement.
They're precious to me. All right, man, well, this has been awesome. Let's just keep driving in the woods for science. And next time you see us, we will be working on this truck.
In your new shop. It's gonna be great. Oh, good Lord.
Let's get this on video. All right, guys, we're gonna get this on video, and
I mean, yeah. What's the worst that could happen?
It's for science.
For science.
So, see you guys back at the shop. Hey everybody, it's 1 week later. We are here finally. Chris has been looking forward to this day for a long time.
Long time.
We're gonna go over the parts that we're installing and some of the tools. So take it away, Smith.
Hey, all right. So we have all the suspension stuff here first. These are gonna be front suspension. They are 2.5-inch shocks from Icon Vehicle Dynamics, remote reservoirs, compression control, adjustment, all the good stuff. The rear shocks there are piggyback, again, 2.5-inch shocks. Those should help tremendously with the jounce on the back of the truck. Also new upper control arms for the front suspension. We have 1-inch rear lift blocks for the back. Decided to go that way instead of redoing the leaf springs that might come in the future. That's what we're doing.
Nice. What about tools?
What about tools? So all the good stuff, all your metric, SAE.
Metric and SAE for this job.
Yeah. Thanks, GM.
Oh, and one more thing. We're gonna have a link to all of the different tools that you're going to need, but basically we just have a bunch of different flavors of metric and standard, impact and non-impact sockets and wrenches, and this is going to be handy. You don't need to have an impact driver, but it's nice to have.
So I think we're going to get started in the front today. So we're going to start with a combination of the remote reservoir shocks and the upper control arm. So that is where we're going to get started. So we're going to get this truck up on blocks and get going. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna disconnect the front sway bar on both sides, mainly for this guy right here, the little bracket. Hello, dog. Hi.
That's my dog.
This guy here, we're actually gonna need to relocate lower. So there's a little spacer we're gonna put in right in here to accommodate for the travel, the extended travel of the new upper control arm. So that is what we're gonna take off next. But first, this little plastic guy has to go too.
Swing bar in your face.
Yeah.
All right, so next step we need to remove the coilovers, and unfortunately to do that you need to remove the wheel well liner. Don't we, Chris?
We do.
Come on. Get out.
That's a bolt.
There
she is. Now we're gonna hammer this guy out.
Hey!
So we are supporting the knuckle here when we remove the upper control arm. And basically when you do this, you just wanna make sure that your brake lines are clear. They don't have a lot of tension on them. The last thing you wanna do is mess up your brakes.
All right, so before you remove the coil, okay, so really important, before you remove the coilover and go any further, you're going to need to access your regional of choice cheap beer and self-lubricate yourself. Why don't you hold that and I'll pull it out, okay? Whoa, it's heavier than I thought it was. Hey! In the name of science!
So basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna grind down this little section here, because with the increased droop of the new coilovers, we don't want the CV joint here to rub against it over time. So we're gonna sand that, or grind that down to about half. All right, so we're gonna start taking off the upper control arm here. We're just gonna need two 21mm wrenches to loosen these guys up on either side. It's all gone.
Nice.
We did it. Yeah, now we have all the old stuff out. We are going to start putting the new stuff in. So we are gonna start with the coilovers. We're gonna get those mounted in. Okay. Mount the remote reservoir above it, and then we're going to assemble the upper control arms and get those guys in. So
awesome, man. All right, time out for a second, everybody. This is slightly older and wiser Jason speaking to you now. What Chris just said there about doing the coilover before the upper control arm is incorrect. We kind of had our instruction PDFs a little bit mixed up, and we quickly figured that out in the video. But I wanted to make sure that if anyone's watching this to install this yourself, that you don't make the same mistake we did. But I'm not going to hide our mistakes. I'm going to go ahead and show them. Just so you know, do the upper control arm first and then do the coilover. But anyway, back to the video.
So we're going to start with the coilover. We're going to go ahead and put this in. This is the driver's side. So with the remote reservoir, it says you want to have your valving headed towards the back of the vehicle. So we're going to just kind of put it up right in like that. And this is the mount for the remote reservoir. It's going to mount on top of the coilover boot there. And we'll mount this guy right too.
In.
All right, so next we have the coilover on. We haven't mounted the remote reservoir yet because we need to get the little fender liner in there. But before we do that, since we've got giant tires for this guy, we are going to have to trim back the mounting points for the fender liner. So we are going to get in here and basically cut this out, maybe a good 1.5 inches in, and then we're going to re-secure it and it should work okay. We're going to go ahead and cut them back. It's roughly 1 inch all the way, just matching the contour.
Yeah, that's actually pretty smooth too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, not bad.
We're going to put the bushings in the upper control arm now so that they come apart very easily. We're just going to throw some grease on here to keep it from squeaking in the future. We're also going to put it in.
We're doing the driver's side, but the
Passenger side should be identical.
What's up?
We took this out after we took this out. I don't know how I'm gonna get these in there to get this. I swear to God.
Oh, F. Okay. So again, apparently because there's 2 different PDFs about installing the coilover and installing the upper control arm, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So because of that, you don't really necessarily know the sequence from the instructions. So pro tip, because we found out the hard way, put the upper control arm first before the coilover because clearance is ridiculous. We're having to use like a tiny extension and like a 3-inch extension, and we are getting to put it in coilover first, but it's ridiculously hard. So don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do it.
You've been warned.
Okay.
All right.
Get back to work. One quick tip for you all, the ball joint that the spindle threads into is very, very stiff and it won't easily move, so it's hard to attach to the knuckle. So long story short, we'd recommend bending it into place before you install the upper control arm, but if you were unable to do that, you can still move it into place with a breaker bar as you see us doing here. Praise be baby Jesus. Praise him.
Yeah, now we're close. Okay.
It's all right, 70 foot-pounds on this guy.
70 foot-pounds. There she is.
Hey!
Click,
Knuckle.
click.
Knuckle install.
Knuckles.
Knuckles.
Oh, these knuckles for that knuckle.
Yeah.
This really scares me that I have to remove that. But we need to put some Loctite on it, some thread lock on it, and then we need to reinstall this guy to 50 pounds. Call that 70. Okay, we are in.
Well, anyway, it's a new day, and we are now at the sway bar.
Yes, off camera last night, we had a little bit of an issue that we're gonna fix. Well, we already did fix, actually.
Yep.
We were putting the sway bar back on, sheared off a bolt, used the handy dandy bolt extractor, got it back out.
Yep.
Got some new bolts, and we're gonna put on the sway bar.
Yep. And then after the sway bar, then we put the front wheels on, and then we'll do the back. Birds.
I love birds.
Birds. Yeah. Well, let's get started. Let's stop this.
Let's do it.
Let's stop this talking part. Cheers. It's a great shot of the back of your hand.
It's a pretty pasty back of the hand. Hey, get my gloves back on. Hey, guess what? We're seated.
Sweet.
Look at that.
I wish I would have captured that better.
Wasn't it?
What if God was one of us?
What if God was one of us?
Just a slob like one of us?
Just a strange, I don't know.
Just a stranger on the bus, trying to make his way home.
Make his way home. Make her way home. Whoa!
Oh, mind blown. This side's done.
Sweet!
Like, well, I mean.
Well, yeah, I put a tire on it.
But other than that, done.
Awesome.
So we have the suspension in, it is all done. The last thing we're gonna do before we put the tires on is we are gonna adjust our ride height with the coilovers here. So we're gonna get started with a 5/32 Allen wrench to loosen the set screw on the coilover, and then we're gonna use this spanner wrench from Icon to adjust the height. And so in order to adjust the height, they recommend you have your suspension at full droop. So we're gonna go ahead and lower the control arm here. So I believe we have it down as far as we want to go. So after turning it, we just want to put that set screw back in to lock it in place so it doesn't go anywhere on us, and we should be good.
So a little over 3 centimeters.
3.3 centimeters.
So this is a new tool, also known as just a piece of scrap tubing. We're using it as a cheater bar, and it's helping tremendously.
Should be good. Matching.
Nice. Sweet.
That's your ride height, Smith.
That is phenomenal. I am very happy.
All right, time to do the back. So let's take a look at that rear shock you got there.
So we're about to lift this up, but what we're gonna do in the back is we're gonna put in these piggyback shocks, again from Icon, part of their Stage 5 kit. The really cool thing, and we didn't talk about these on the front shocks, is that they have compression dampening control. So you actually have 9 different stages basically between the softness and the hardness of your suspension. So for street versus off-road, and you can adjust them on the fly, which is amazing. So we're gonna put these in. We're also gonna put in 1-inch rear lift blocks on the back as well to help level out the truck. So
Yeah, it's looking a little bit like this right now.
All right, so we have the rear axle supported. We're gonna go ahead and remove the lower shock mount and the nuts that are holding on the U-bolts, and then we're gonna lower that and pull off the old brackets, put in the spacer, and jack it back up.
That's how that's done. Nice.
So hopefully we have it down low enough. We do. Lift blocks are on. Now it's time for the shocks.
Hey!
Ta-da! All right, so I am marking right now. This is roughly the area that we're gonna have to sand back for clearance on those new shocks.
Chris, there's metal on your face.
It's raining right on me.
Breathe it in.
Oh,
It's
yes.
good for you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a great shot.
Oh! Oh! All right, well, we got that guy in. So we just had to grind a little bit more than anticipated, more than it looked like in the instructions, but we got it in there, painted it up so it won't rust on us. U-bolts are in, new shocks are in, this guy's done, we're ready for a tire.
Cheers, man. That looks really good.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks for your help.
It was a lot of fun.
It looks amazing.
A day working on a cool truck with your friend is a day not wasted.
2 days, but who's counting?
2 days.
2 days.
Could have been 3, but we got it done in 2.
We're gonna get it aligned. I'm gonna take it to the shop tomorrow, get it aligned, and then hopefully within the next week or so, we can get it on the trail to see how it does now.
I'm excited for that part. That'll be fun.
Me too.
That'll be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Step 1 complete.
Awesome.
I'll let you
Oh,
figure
there's
out what that
multiple
means.
steps. Sweet.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Until next time. All right, it's been 2 weeks since we installed the suspension system by Icon, and we're back on the same trail we were before, and we're having a great time. This is really cool.
The suspension travel is great. We're hitting lots of good terrain here in the flexes. I mean, exactly what I hoped, more than I hoped it would be. So it's doing really good. Very happy with it.
It also happens to just be kind of pretty.
Well, there's that. I mean, I'm not gonna complain, that's for sure. I'm super happy I don't have to baby the tires anymore. These, the KO2s, obviously very tried and true, and they deliver. I'm very happy with them. They grip really well, even on this pretty loose rock that we're coming across up here.
Yeah.
So, very impressed.
Well, Chris, a question for you. Are you now done with your truck? Is this it?
I am, no, I'm not done. I'm not done. I have lots of things in plan. Some things already shipped to my house. It's just whether or not you want to video them.
I love videoing them. This has been an incredibly fun project, and if the response is good, I would love to make a series out of this. This is super fun.
I'm down, man. So some things I have planned are, I already have a roof rack. It's from a brand named Prinsu Design Studios, CVI Off-Road out of Idaho. So I already have that. That guy's ready to go whenever you are. And then hopefully a couple of things from AEV in the future. A snorkel, some underbody armor. Just gonna do it up. The goal is I want this to be just a get out of town Overland rig. And we're working towards that now, so I'm very happy.
Well, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Thumbs up, subscribe, all that generic bullcrap. And
Smash that like button.
just smash it.
Smash it.
And we'll catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye. Let's do one more.
Yeah.
Just, nah, I like that one. That one was honest. I like that one. That one was good. Cool. Let's get it.